Well, someone actually told me, she said, you've got lots of contacts, Daphne, but I was a little bit unsure because I myself am not so familiar with the property world. How about those who have the same thoughts as I have? What happens then? Is there like a special course?
Yeah, I mean, essentially the course provides you enough information. For us, there's a 4-day course that we do. Provides enough information for you to get started, you know, the basics, what a residential property is, commercial property is, the process of the selling itself. So it's all there. But still, it comes back to being able to...
Well, I know one thing that would definitely motivate me, and that is money. Now, we spoke about a six-digit figure here that we're talking about. How much can we roughly earn in about a month if, let's say, we're not too gung-ho, but we're not lazy, we're not sitting on our asses either?
I think generally speaking, in the property business in Malaysia market, so to speak, we generally charge 2 to 3% based on the transaction to the seller, right? And actually the property negotiator or the agent actually share a profit with the agent or agencies.
3%? That means the agent gets...
If you example that you sell a house with 100,000, the 3,000 will actually go to the agency. So the agency will split the profit with the agents. So example, if you sell $1 million a bungalow or a double-story house, and there will be quite a substantial amount.
What normally sells the fastest or the easiest?
I wouldn't say, but I think residential is, of course, the very hot cake right now. The only problem is about the residential is that just too many agents handling the same property.
Right.
So there are some people actually very focused in the commercial. Some people into auction. So it depends your specialty. A lot of ladies actually, so to speak, they are actually a housewife, and they normally manage the area they're staying. If you're staying in that neighborhood, actually you are
because they know that area very well.
That's very common in Malaysia, that actually you are the area specialist of the place, the neighborhood that you have, and they feel a bit safe for them to travel and a bit detailed about the place that they are covering. Men's probably more to explore to a whole area, a big, broader area.
Again, it goes down to being personalizing the sale.
Yeah, right.
You were saying about managing that property and stuff, right? How about, I mean, selling property? How about renting out? Do we get commission from renting out a particular spot also? Does it work that way?
Yes, it is. I think
is it also 3% or?
No. Generally speaking, I think the owner has to pay about 1 month rental to the agent that they promote the rental services. So actually, it's quite a lucrative business.
I remember purchasing 1 or 2 properties and, you know, going through my equal share of bad agents. How can we negotiate with our agent now from the perspective of a buyer or, you know, a tenant per se? What are some of the things that we can negotiate with? Because most of these agents, hey, they want to make money, so the more they sell, the percentage is higher. How far can we negotiate in that sense?
Well, I guess at the end of the day, it really depends whether the agent's working for a buyer or the seller. So they've got to be very clear about which camp they're on as such, so who's paying the fees. Determining that upfront is quite important to have that partiality there to ensure that the right person is being served. So let's say if you were a buyer and you were negotiating with an agent, they're really at the mercy of the seller at the end of the day. Though I think when you've got the right agent in place, they'll try and balance it out to make sure that both sides actually have a win-win situation and it's not like a win-lose situation. So it's a matter of negotiating. Some sellers are more optimistic about the figures they may want to achieve, and some buyers obviously want to achieve the best result and the best price that they want to purchase. So I think the negotiator or the agent themselves actually have a very big role in that. And I guess that's why the relationship and the trust and all that comes into play, because it's all very discretionary. And you can really tell quite quickly whether the agent's really about money or not, or whether they're really about relationships. So I think it's really testing them, testing the agents to the limit and see whether they're being too pushy. Female agents tend to be less pushy than males. Males tend to be a little bit, they tend to want to close the deal as quickly as they can. Whereas the females are more about relationship, and because of that, they tend to step aside from the deal sometimes and feel a little bit more detached from the deal, looking after the interests of the seller or the buyer and making sure there's a win-win kind of situation there.
Okay, so we've got our general advice and tips from these two gentlemen. Perhaps, Stephen, you would like to just give the last pointers or advice to our viewers at home on why we should take on this as a profession.
There is also one section that we always emphasize, that there is an Ask Guru section in homeguru.com.my.
Wonderful.
You actually can post your questions, and these answers will come from the agents, it's not from us. So the agents will register with us, they will come up with ideas, comments, their contacts. So from there, if you post up a question, I want to buy an apartment, so say around KLCC area, what is it, you know?
And just leave it specifically, I want a one-bedroom.
You just register as an end
My
user.
budget is XYZ.
And then these agents or tons of agents actually will reply.
How about those who have units to sell or rent out?
You can.
And that's the
you
place
can post anything in the Ask Guru section.
Great stuff. So this is the website for you to go to, www.homeguru.com.my. If you would like to ask, pose more questions with regards to property here in Malaysia as well as Singapore, right? If I'm not mistaken. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you very much for shedding some light with regards to women using this as a profession as a real estate agent. And we on Bella have our very own 3 top reasons why you should become a real estate agent. Take a look.
Top 3 reasons why Bella thinks being a real estate agent is awesome. Number 1, freedom from the desk. You make your own hours, work when and how you want. Number 2, lucrative. Real estate agent income is not based on a certain salary amount. There's a great opportunity of making some great money even in just one sale. Set your own salary. You determine your income by how much you want to work. How awesome is that?